Greetings! In this lesson we're going to cover setting up your StuMail account for using Google Code to upload your projects. Now, while all the previous videos have us using a school SVN, this semester we're using Google Code. Now, the previous SVN video is still valid, it's still correct. It's just instead of using the school SVN link, you'll be using your Google Code SVN link. To start off, you need to go to code.google.com and then sign in with your StuMail account. Please use your StuMail account and not your personal Gmail account. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about or what your StuMail account has to do with Gmail or Google, well, let's take a look at that real quick. When you log in to My JCCC and you get to this menu here, of course you have your StuMail icon right here. If you have not activated your StuMail, you will have this link right here, Activate Reset StuMail / Google Apps. Your StuMail account is, in fact, a Google Apps account. It gives you access to Gmail, Picasso, YouTube, everything that's pretty much associated with a Google account you have access to through your StuMail account. This includes Google Projects. So, if you've not done this, log into My JCCC, activate your Google account, so that way you can use it for source control. And of course, to sign in, your username and password is going to be the same as your MyJCC username and password, except for the email, you've got to put in your full email. So for me, this is going to be rflemon1@stumail.jccc.edu, and then of course, the password. Sign in, and you'll now be into Google Projects. There's two ways that you can create a Google project. One is from the main page here. You will have a Create a New Project link. Also, if you go to My Favorites, this is also where you can easily find your existing projects. You can also create a project of your own, well, depending on where you are. If you're actually looking at a project, you can create a project from here. If you're at the code main page, then you can't use that link to create a project. You have to use it down here. When you go to create a new project, it's going to prompt you for a project name. This has to be unique across all Google Code projects, so it might be helpful to prefix everything with your initials. For example, I might use RCF, oops, can't use underscores, dash, and then proceed on with the project name information. I would recommend creating a individual project for each assignment. So, for example, your first assignment's going to be code test. Although you don't have to submit that one to SVN, so maybe that's not the best example. Tree data structure, for example, is going to be I believe that's going to be the first assignment you turn in. Now, whatever you want to call your project name, make sure it makes sense, so that way I can easily tell which project I'm checking out. Project summary, you can give it a little bit normal sounding name. And then for description, you can leave that blank. Now, for the versioning control system, this is important. You're going to want Subversion. Please do not choose Git or Mercurial, even if you know how to use those two. My system is set up, and the school computers are set up for using SVN. That's the source version you need to use. The source code license is up to you. I would recommend the MIT license. That's the license I prefer to release under. Now, yes, this does mean your projects are open source. Your school assignments are open source. Anyone's going to be able to look at them. As long as you do not share your user information or your project name with other students will not be able to look at this. So as long as you don't tell other students your project names, they can't look at it. And then for the project labels, you don't need to, or actually I think you do need to add in at least one label for your project labels. And once you're all done with that, create the project. And now there's a limit to the number of projects you can create on Google hosting. So I'm not going to actually hit the create button on this. After you create a project, you will be in this window here, showing you all the general information about your project, people that have been added on. Every project's going to get its own wiki. It's going to get its own issues, which the wiki and issues we're not really concerned about keeping track of. The source is the important link. The source is where you're going to get your links for checking out the code. When you are using it, you're going to want the HTTP, I think I put too many T's in there, the HTTPS link here. This, including the H, if I can get it my highlight there, this is what you need to put in to the Tortoise source control URL box when you're checking out code. You do not include this stuff right here. That's if you were doing a pure command line checkout. Since we're using Tortoise SVN in the labs, that is the only thing that you need. If you're using Tortoise SVN at home, that's the only thing that you need. If you're doing some other client, hopefully you know what you're doing and you know which parts of this that you need to put in. Now, Google Code has an automatically generated password. Don't bother using this one because as soon as I'm done with this video, I'm clicking the regenerate button. And so it's a machine-generated garbled mess, so there's just no way to get around that. So you'll need to grab that and use that to log in whenever you are checking in your work. You don't need it when you're checking out. You just need it when you're checking in. And that's pretty much it to using Google Code. You only have a 4 gigabyte quota. You're not going to get anywhere near to that limit. So this one's a pretty quick video. It's just showing how this is going to work for this semester. Now, this specific project that I am in right now, the JCCC game code samples, this is where I will be uploading all of the sample projects for the course. So feel free to browse this repro, check it out, keep it synchronized, because this is where all your code samples are going to be. And with that, till the next video.